All right, guys, just as a real quick update on what we are doing here at the bee yard tonight. It is 7:30 in the evening. We are doing, this is week three for the, okay. So we're doing a week 3 treatment for oxalic acid. We have found that many of our hives do contain varroa mites. And it was a heavy infestation in those hives, and so we decided, you know what, we're going to do a 5-week in a row treatment with the oxalic acid in order to deal with it. So we got a lot of activity going on. I wanted to go ahead and get this recorded though, recorded so that we could see what an oxalic treatment actually looks like. Just a real quick synopsis for what oxalic acid is and does. Oxalic acid is used, I'm reading, by the way, so that I don't actually give you misinformation, because I don't want to do that. Oxalic acid is used in beekeeping to help the honeybees primarily by controlling and reducing the population of varroa mites. This is not written down. This is actually just knowledge that I have. It may be written down. I haven't read it yet. But oxalic acid is organic. We do not use chemical treatments on our bees at all. We are very insistent on being chemical free. So this oxalic acid, OAV, is what we refer to it as in the short vernacular, is an organic treatment. So this is one of the treatment methods that we've discussed in previous videos we're using tonight, and I wanted you guys to see how that operates, all right? So a major parasitic threat to the honeybee colonies. You've heard us cussing about them. Varroa mite control. Varroa mites are external parasites. They get up onto the abdomens and stuff of the bees. They bite into them. They carry diseases, bacteria, all that kind of stuff. And they get that into the bees, and it causes us all kinds of trouble. We'll lose hives if we're not on top of it, okay? Weaken the bees, transmit disease. Okay, I already said all that. I'm totally reading this. Application methods. You're going to see us tonight. We're going to use this applicator. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the powdered chemical in there. It looks a lot like a powdered substance, and it's going to, the rubber cup will go in here upside down. It contains the powdered chemical in there. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It contains the powdered substance in there that is actually completely organic, and you guys can look that up and double check me. It is organic, but it pours that in there, gets superheated at 350 to 400 degrees, immediately turns into a gas fume that is poured into the, not poured, but it fumes up into the gases up into the hive. We have special entrances on the back of several of these, and on the other ones we just use the screen that when we get to them. Anyway, so the gas goes into the hive, clouds up onto the bees, gets into the brood cells and onto the brood and all that kind of stuff where the varroa are laying before it's capped. If it's already capped, there isn't anything we can do about that. That's the reason we're doing a 5-week treatment, so that we can actually make sure that we get all of the bees treated. And then, of course, we're expecting to get a brood break going into winter, and then they won't have anywhere to lay. What's that? And we may treat in the winter if we get the right kind of day. We obviously don't want to mess with the ball too much, the colony too much. But if we have a day that we can treat, we're going to treat, because we have a brood break and we are really trying to get the varroa not controlled, but killed. Okay, so timing, we just talked about that. Here you go. That's the applicator. So he's getting started. Reduce the mite load. So that's the reason we're doing it. All right. Don't let me forget my phone, Derek. It is somewhere over there in the grass. So there it is. I'm going to go ahead and flip this camera around. My job during this is to make sure that he is fully stocked at each of the hives before he gets to it on the oxalic acid. All right. So I'm just now seeing that doing this from the front entrance was a dumb idea. So you guys can edit that part out. I hope y'all are better than that. All right. So as you can see, he's got that, it's heated up. Yeah, you can see the gas coming out, so the fumes coming out. So now he's bumped off that powder onto the heating element, and from there it is rising up into the hive. Now, obviously you can see that it's drifting. The hives are not 100% sealed. So we actually use a bit extra on the oxalic in order to make sure. Were you just laying on healing hands or something?
Yeah, well, trying to hold it in a little bit because this is the only place it can come out.
Just blow on it real hard. It'll be fine.
Blow on it, it'll be fine. I ain't put my face in there.
Anyway, so I am currently far enough. I've actually stepped off to the side of the camera too because it is blowing this direction. But the oxalic acid, it does fume out as well. Not to mention, as soon as it starts to hit, the bees aren't really sure what's going on. So they begin to fan their wings in order to blow that stuff out of the hive. Other beekeepers, I've watched them on YouTube. Derek has seen them on YouTube as well. The way that they have their hives set up, probably with a solid bottom board, they do not have any, because then they block off their entrances as well. So they don't have any blowout of the fumes at all, which is great. Just leave it on top of the hive and I'll collect it. Yeah. Which is great. That's all awesome and stuff. We have the screen bottom board, so we turn the temperature down. Turn it off and let it cool off a little bit.
Because it's got a little warmer than I like this.
Yeah. Well, because you also don't want to burn it and you don't want to burn them. If
you got in it, didn't you? You walked through.
Hold on just a second.
You know when you walk through it.
You know exactly when you walk into it too. So, hey guys, if I keel over, it won't be on camera. Derek will have failed as a beekeeper because he didn't get to watch me die.
That's right.
Well, he did, but you didn't. Anyway. I do make jokes about it, but it is very serious. Pay very close attention. Also pay attention because you got that the sign poking out in the back, so you don't want to melt it with the.
I thought it might melt it there, but it didn't do it.
It didn't? Okay, good. So there's the oxalic up close.
Now it's dropping 436, 435 with it on.
Yeah, go ahead and get started because as soon as you bump the powder into it, it's the temperature will drop drastically.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Still learning. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing, guys. On top of I just don't want to do it, Derek is also in the process of learning several of the beekeeping skills. This is one of them. So while I am quite capable of coming in and doing the oxalic, Derek and I agreed, at least for the first few hives, if he decides he wants to take a break, we'll switch out. But for now, hands-on experience is the best experience. So, but you can see the fumes again, and this is just how the treatment goes. And we do this at every single hive. If you got, for those of you who have ever done any kind of cooking with spices, with fresh peppers, cooking say with cayenne pepper or habanero, anything like that, and you get a big lungful of that steam, it's kind of like that.
This one I don't have to worry about it as much.
Only worse. But that's the closest experience I can think of to it. Do you do any cooking at all? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever cooked with the hot peppers?
Yeah.
Do you ever get lungfuls of the?
A little bit sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. As you do it, as you cook with it more, that's the difference. Is as you cook with the peppers more, that tends to not affect you as hard, right?
Right.
Especially if you like peppers and you eat them all the time, you don't tend to get that effect. However, for folks who don't eat hot peppers, when you cook in the house with them, that is hysterical. Because you know it's not harming them, and yet they are choking and coughing and just carrying on. It's hysterical. This stuff, that's the difference. This stuff isn't like that. This stuff you don't get used to. This stuff will burn your lungs. So you've got to be very cautious with it. I cannot stress that enough. If you are going to work with oxalic acid, you must wear protective gear. The bee suit isn't necessarily protective gear from the oxalic acid, though you do see him using his glove to protect himself from the heat. The bee suit is... I have no idea why he's wearing the bee suit right now. Although he has
Sometimes they don't like this treatment very well. They're being good tonight. The other day they were trying to sting me when I was doing this.
We do not have, tonight we do not have the entrances blocked because we're losing so much in fumes anyway that having the entrances blocked really isn't necessarily making that big of a difference. So we don't have the entrances blocked. If the girls do decide they hate us right now, Derek is actually really smart for being in his bee suit.
Exactly.
And I'm really dumb for not being in mine.
Because all I gotta do is hit the wrong house.
Right. So y'all need to understand, the only reason I really make fun of Derek for being in his bee suit all the time is because I don't like being dumb alone. And I'm just gonna be real with you. All right, so you should. You know what? You don't have enough. No. You don't have